If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. What? Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them. Dear listener, dear listener, dear listener, we are in the midst of a historical moment in Vin and Sori history. We are doing a whole week with the DJ of DJs.
Aretha Franklin Think. The Queen of Soul. Oh, you remember our great foe of rock, Mitch Miller. He's actually the person who originally signed Aretha Franklin to Columbia Records. She left, though, for Atlantic Records because he wouldn't let her record R&B. This song was recorded a week after Martin Luther Jr.'s assassination.
Luther King?
Martin Luther King Jr.
You said Martin Luther Jr.
Oh.
You forgot the King part.
Oh. Assassination in 1968. Most people think it's a women's rights anthem, but I actually think with its close proximity to MLK's death that it's actually a civil rights anthem. It works for both. I read the lyrics as a direct message to the listener about the state of things in 1968. This song hit number 7 on the charts.
Okay, guys, here we go. Aretha Franklin.
Think.
The name of the song is Think. That's interesting. Think, Aretha Franklin. Let's do it.
Have been
she can sing.
That's
That I love that type where they.
She's also the one that sang R-E-S-P-E-C-T, right? That's
Okay, yeah, probably.
I'm surprised they didn't choose that one. Okay. Holy smokes.
Unbelievable. She is such an amazing singer.
That's a powerful young woman right
and
there,
look,
ladies
like
and gents.
I'm looking at her album cover. Like, you never can tell. Like, some people just have like those features that look like, okay, this is going to be intense. She doesn't look intense at all. She looks like she would bring cookies to the bake-off. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't even look like. But that voice, man, wow, holy moly, very, very beautiful voice. It's just impactful and like, wow.
It's just very powerful the way.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard. I was explaining leadership to Dorian, and there's so many parts about leadership that are metaphysical and not something you can measure in a lab. But she immediately established her authority in the song. Like the way that she speaks, it's like she's fed up, but she's not like hysterically fed up. Like, you can get to the point where you're fed up and you just go absolutely hysterical and you're completely irrational. But this one, it was controlled, it was powerful, but you could tell she'd had enough. And I think that's I think being able to balance that is one of the most difficult things in the world to do when you're dealing with a societal injustice and you're confronted with the apathy of people who are not affected by the particular issue. I just got done an interview with an OBGYN and I couldn't get through it because she's a medical professional, so she's talking about certain things in a very sort of mechanistic, almost clinical way. But to me, but my point is, you can get to the point where you get hysterical because you're so frustrated and angry and you're hurt and you're like, how could you not see this? Did you hear what you just said? Listen to what you just said. And it can drive you hysterical, but the people that really make the change in the world are the people that sit with that pain and that anger and find a way to communicate the pain and anger of a generation of people, but do it in such a way that you cannot negate the credibility. Because what happens is our society functions like an abusive relationship. They'll poke you and poke you and poke you and poke you, and then you end up saying something crazy, so now you look like a crazy person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you look like a crazy person. So a lot of very valid social complaints have been dismissed to the wayside because you went hysterical about it, and even though you may be justified, that's just how it is, and they're going to catch you on camera saying some real dumb shit, and then that's it. So like, for her to be able to be a black woman in the 60s, whatever it was, not fun. A lot of situations for you to be completely infuriated and angry and crazy, but she you could still tell she was over it, but she was in complete control of her mind, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I am blown away. I do definitely, obviously, we both know the song Respect, and that one was super, super powerful, just the way she would sing. And I didn't know that it was the same person. I thought that we were hearing a style, and I'm like, I was thinking she's doing it like that other girl, but I didn't realize it's the same girl. I've never even heard of another person that is like her voice. Like, she's just unique.
She's legendary.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely legendary.
Unbelievable.
Now, the crux of the song was think about what you're doing. Think about what you're trying to do to me. And that is there's this really random passage in the Gospels. Jesus is getting jammed up. He's getting arrested. They ask him a question. He answers the question, and then one of the guards smacks him. And Jesus looks at the guy and said, "Why did you hit me?" And I remember being like, yo, why were you asked that question, bro? Like, you came here, you're supposed to die, you know you're supposed to die, you knew these guys were gonna jam you up. What is the point of asking that guy that question? Why did? And the answer is very simple, because Jesus is confronting the guy and forcing him to look at himself and saying, "Think.
Yep.
I've done nothing to you. Why do you have all this hostility?" Right? And it's like, man, there's so many times.
There must have been so many layers to that man's answer.
Yeah, well, the guy never answers.
Internally.
Yeah. Jesus
Because
said,
I feel like when Jesus asks you a question, it doesn't let you go. Like, you're forced to contend with the answer until you
haunt him for the rest
why
of his
did
life.
I hit him? Why did I hit him? And all the reasons for why. Because, you know, a lot of times our frustration or our rage or our anger doesn't come from one situation. One situation is the bubble over.
Right.
And that's what was going on. But how many situations led up to that moment that made you react like that? And this woman has so many reasons to react with a huge outburst. But she does this song and she holds it together.
I was in a moderated debate one time. Now, moderated debate is an official debate. You agree at beginning about what the terms are and how it's going to go and the structure of the debate. During cross-examination, the person asking the question asks questions, and then you have to answer. And then when it's your turn, you get to ask questions. The other guy has to answer. And so during cross-examination period, I said, what crime has a child committed to warrant being killed? He said, I'm not going to answer that question. I refuse to answer the question. Even though he had already agreed to the terms of the debate, he would not answer the question. And so, like,
obviously the topic was abortion.
Well, yeah,
I think it's pretty obvious.
It was abortion. I just feel like I talked to a really, really intelligent guy a couple days ago. I said, "What's being killed in abortion?" He said, "A clump of cells, and I'm blocking you." Like, so it's right there. It's like, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. We'll just go along, man. I don't want to think about it. You know, like I said, you know, I'll publish the discussion in Middle America, but it was so crazy because I already knew all these procedures, but hearing it from a woman and a medical professional and the way she was describing it, it was so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. And it's like, I don't care what the topic is. Like I said, like, we're going to win that fight, but there's going to be another thing that the next generation is going to have to deal with. And the evil isn't like, oh, I'm dressed up in all. Evil can look very, very docile and it looks like we were talking about this a couple days ago. It's just like, man, the things that people are willing to accept without thinking from a society because the majority is saying XYZ thing is okay. Like, I was talking to a guy, he's like, well, we don't grant rights and personhood to fetuses. I'm like, did you hear what you just said? What do you mean we grant them rights? Like, don't you understand the ramifications of what you just think? And this was a black guy. I'm like they said with us when they said we weren't fully persons, human? Mm-hmm. Like that? Mm-hmm. Should we be grateful to white people that they came together and voted and gave us human dignity? Think! It's not for the government to fucking give you human dignity. What the fuck? So now we're beholden to the fucking whims of the majority as to whether or not you're a human being and worthy of life. Think! Is that really something that people should vote on? Whether or not I'm a human being? Serious question. Because that happened in this country. Like, fucking think. You don't have to agree, but think about what the fuck you're saying. Because it's like, holy shit. So, it's on the other side in the religious community. Where you got people saying that marital rape isn't real. What? Marital rape isn't real?
Yeah. So
because the girl decides that she's married, now you've got she's essentially your handmaid. She's a prostitute because you married her. And like, this is, I'm not going to say it's across the board in evangelicalism, but I'll tell you, I've never been in because all we've done is conservative evangelicalism. So we've never done liberal, universal, so I can't say about other groups, but I can tell you from my group that a lot of these women don't stand a chance as far as being looked upon as an equal, being looked upon as a fellow image bearer of God. And their sexual integrity is, right now, I hate to say this because I generally don't have I have a rule where I try not to air out our dirty laundry in public. But right now, in the evangelical world, do you know what the big debate is? It's not Roe v. Wade.
Oh my God.
It's not the economy.
You're never going to believe it.
It's not jihad. It's not war about whether or not, how should a Christian respond to the Ukraine-Russia conflict? How should a Christian respond with Medicare for all? That's not the big debate. You guys want to know what the big debate is right now in evangelical is? Fucking yoga pants. And why women are bad for wearing fucking yoga pants in church, because the lecherous fucking porn-addled motherfuckers at the church can't stop looking at her ass, and instead of holding the guy responsible, the woman gets held responsible for having a butt. What was that thing that we read yesterday? No, seriously. Now again, I'm not speaking for all of evangelicalism.
Amy's like, huh?
What?
Amy, huh?
Amy, yes!
It's insane.
I swear to God, it's yoga pants! That's the big debate that these people are... We've got fucking nuclear war, a hot war with Russia, fucking humanitarian crisis with the Ukrainians, people getting shot up, women getting violated. We got this Roe vs. Wade stuff. We've got millions of women terrified that they're not going to have the social programs and things to help them when this shit goes away. We've got so many issues. What the fuck is the giant conversation? Fucking yoga pants. This is where we are.
And it's been a conversation for a while.
Every couple years it comes up. This yoga pants bullshit, because these evangelical men are so childish that they can't manage their sexuality, so they project all that upset onto the woman, and then the other women jump after those women because it's their fault that their husband is a lustful bastard. This shit is just unbelievable. And Aretha saying, think. Is there one passage in the New Testament where Jesus says, ladies, you got to be careful about what you're wearing, okay? Because you're gonna make people sin. Nope. You know what the New Testament says? If you see a girl with yoga pants and she's got a nice fat ass and you want to look, you know what it says? Jesus says, gouge out your eyes. Mm-hmm. Jesus' response was, gouge out your eyes, and then you won't have a problem looking at that girl's ass. He never once says, you should cover up, lady. He never once says that. He puts 100% of the responsibility for the lust onto the man. But instead, we can't think. Because our authorities are telling us that the yoga pants are the fucking problem. We can't think. This is where we are. Look, I my far left friends, my crazy progressive friends, we disagree vehemently about abortion. But at least they're plugged in enough to the real issues in the world to fucking argue about that.
Yep.
But these patriarchalists and evangelicalism are so obsessed with maintaining this power structure that they want to fight these battles over yoga pants. You think it's about the yoga pants? No, it's just about control. You know, when Cenk and Anna say that these people aren't pro-life, they're just control, they're 100% true. And they don't even
to agree with them.
They don't even know how true. They don't even know how right they are because they haven't been part of the subculture.
Right.
If these people knew about the subculture, oh my God, the way women are treated in evangelicalism is absolutely terrible.
This is like one of the things that like saved me when I was going through all that stuff with the church and the way that everybody was reacting to certain things, and everything was just a mess. You handled it much differently than I did, but having the channel during that time was huge. Yeah, because
it was.
There were times where we would put some of the information out there of what was going on, and it was like unbelievable, like how many people were like, "What the
Yeah.
is that about?
But it was good for you to hear.
Oh, it was so good for me to hear. And it was crazy because, you know, you hear so much because of the, you know, the way that I grew up. It was like, okay, Christian people are good. And then the worldly people are bad.
Bad.
And so when the worldly bad people that were listening to hell music, you know,
and worship the devil on the weekends, sacrifice,
are even saying, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, then this is even crazier than crazy, because here you have the church saying that this is good, and then you have people that are, you know, I think that everybody's influenced in their thoughts by whatever influences them in their surroundings, but then there are just some things that everybody's like, well, that's crazy and that shouldn't be a thing. And so it was actually like really healing for me. And even this yoga pants thing is so frustrating to me, and it's been an issue the entire time that I've been alive. I've felt this issue, especially as I hit my teen years and then into adulthood. Like, that pressure was always on me that I was the problem rather than the guys around. And even as like I adjusted my wardrobe and everything to like appease other people, and you had to, the college that I went to, like if you left the dorm in anything that was mildly attractive, they would target me instantly, and I was sent right back to change. And it was so frustrating, like that sort of environment where, and it's weird because you'd think that I haven't been in that world for a while. Like Vinny and I have been together for literally years, but like the dress that I'm wearing today, I went to the bread store, and I was the only one in the bread store, and the woman that runs the bread store was in the back. And when I heard her voice, because she was talking to somebody else, she was coming toward the front to come through the front doors, I literally got anxiety temporarily, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in this dress, she's gonna tell me I have to leave. And then I was like, what in the world? And I had to like kind of calm myself down. Yeah, it's still like will affect me now. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm almost 40 years old. I've been outside of that environment. But when you are targeted for years and years and years and years, literally, I was targeted for more years than I haven't been targeted. So it's just, I think that the trauma just sets in, and then it just becomes, you know,
they can't manage
it's
their
unbelievable.
own sexuality,
Unbelievable.
So it gets offloaded to the woman. It's
hearing you say the yoga pants thing and like seeing like confusion from some people, they're like, huh? What? It's like, I don't know. That's even healthy for me to see even now.
Yeah.
Look at Jesse. He feels attacked because he wears leggings.
Yeah. It's like I said, people wouldn't believe it. You hear crazy shit, and I'm sure a lot of our friends are like, yeah, that's a fringe. I'm not gonna say that. I've said enough. All right. I love the song. It's a class. It's a 10 for me.
Oh, absolutely a 10.
It's a 10 for me.
No two ways about it.
I'm gonna float the song to Zoe, because Zoe's on her feminist shit hard. So she's not playing around. So she's gonna like it. Really, really, really good song. Really, really good song, guys.
The Beatles is next. We close with the Beatles today.
Beatles is what's
Hey
the name of the
Jude.
Hey Jude. Hey Jude is a song from the Beatles. I'm Vin. That's Sori. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.